Hello and welcome back to Looking Glass Letterbox for another day of Teatime and Tarot. If you've been following along, journaling along, welcome back. Happy to have your company. Thank you so much. If you're new, this is a daily journal, diary, video, tarot, blog that I'm doing Mondays through Fridays throughout 2021. If you are interested in following along and starting to journal along, that would be fantastic. You're very welcome. I started doing this at the very end of December, beginning of January. If you want to go back through the playlist, I'll link it at the end of the video if you want to check out some other of the readings. These are general readings. They're not for any particular person or any particular question. It's just to see what the tarot has for us to consider today and consider and think about how it might be helpful or useful or just curious to carry through our activities. So first card out is the Magician. All right, call to action, being empowered to take action, to be inspired, to follow through on your inspiration, to formulate an idea, to carry forth what it is your ambition or idea or purpose or potential is. The Magician is a point of being wildly capable, inspired, and having all the tools you need at the moment at your disposal to begin. Next we have out is the Three of Cups. So a point of bountiful bliss, togetherness, sisterhood, brotherhood, friendship, a group of people who are interdependent and supportive of each other's projects and supportive of each other individually and as a group to support whatever it is that you're trying to create and fulfillment that you're trying to encourage into your own life. Having a community that you can share that with, you know, one or two people close to you where you can support everyone's endeavors for the benefit of each of you. Okay, then we have the Six of Cups, and that is recuperation, coming back to yourself, coming back to a point of connection and resonance within yourself and your purpose. It may be in a relationship. You see Rose and Miles there, unified, gazing into each other's eyes. So it's a point of connection and reciprocity at a position of growth to encourage further development. And the Six of Cups is about tapping into what fulfillment brought you to the place that you were. So it may be related to something in your past, something in your childhood, a relationship, a connection, an understanding that sort of helps to nourish you and what provided you with fulfillment previously and replenishing that so that you can carry it forward with you in order to encourage growth of what you're seeking now. Okay, and we'll get one more on the table here. So inspiration with Magician at number 1. Creation and support and collaboration with the Three of Cups. Connection, reciprocity, and exchange with the Six of Cups. This is very positive reading. One more card, please, for today. Oh, and we've got 2. So Ace of Swords and the Knight of Wands. Okay. So yesterday, the Knight of Wands came out in position 2. All right, and that was, if you've been particularly feeling this Mercury retrograde or sensitive to this Mercury retrograde, I absolutely have. So if you have been too, you're not alone. Over the past couple of days, you may have taken some time to review your plans, review your ambitions, review and look at sort of a bigger picture, a bird's eye view of the blueprint that you would like to follow to come into connection with opportunity and progression and growth for whatever it is in your life that you've decided to focus on or to develop. You know, it could be one thing, it could be a few things. But the Mercury retrograde may have caused some stalling, some compression of, I don't know, the first 2 weeks of February for me have seemed to take months and months to go by. I can't believe that it's only, I think it's February 16th today, and that I've only been doing these readings for just, you know, over a month. We're only on day 35. It seems like it's been much longer. But if you feel like things have been held up, there's been, you know, a knot in the works that needed to be worked out, or communications or connections aren't coming through as you expected that they would, that could be very frustrating. But if you've taken time over the past few days, or you're going to take time over this next week, this last week of the retrograde, to really get a clear picture and to review and adjust and evaluate the plans that you have moving forward, so that you're prepared when Mercury goes direct again and communications start falling into place and connections start coming forward. That's going to put you in this position of the Eight of Swords, of having intellectual clarity and understanding and inspiration and revelation about how to engage with this Knight of Wands, to confidently and excitedly take the actions to move in the directions of the things that you want. Okay, but I think that considering the abilities that you have, the support that you have, collaboration that you have, the resonance that you have, and the encouragement that you have within yourself and also within your relationships, will allow you to come to this point of the Ace of Swords, so that you can really be confident that the action you're going to take when that space opens up and becomes possible, you're going to be able to be in a position to make powerful, confident selections and choices and actions, to sort of let this momentum that's been building up behind whatever has been on your mind or that you're focused in, once that is released, you can confidently charge off in the direction of what that is. And then at the bottom of the deck, again, we have the Fool. I think the Fool was at the bottom of the deck yesterday as well. So still walking the path, still being open and receptive and willing to learn and engage and experience along the way, not needing to have all of the answers immediately, but willing to seek out the answers and be curious about what it is you want to experience along the way, and being open to the enrichment of that with the assistance of time and circumstance, and attention to the detail of what you're saying yes to, what you're saying no to, and the questions that you're asking, how curious you are within the process. At the bottom of the deck, we have the Eight of Cups. Okay, so that's continuing to move away from what no longer works for you. If you need to reevaluate the plan that you initially set out upon at the beginning of the year, if this is related to New Year's resolutions or refocusing your efforts, or judgment has been all over the monthly readings, being called up to the next level, called up into the next evolution of yourself, and heeding that call and moving in the direction of that and away from what is no longer fulfilling, still applies, and that does require strength. So resisting the urge to fall back into old habit that you know is not fulfilling, and being encouraged with this to confidently move in the direction of what it is that you decide to set out in search of with the Fool. And what lies between these two? Ten of Wands. Okay, so the this is a card of feeling overburdened, overwhelmed, overstimulated. Excuse me. And struggling throughout the process because of how much you're carrying. When this card comes up, check the expectation that you have of the situation that you're in. Check the expectations that you have of yourself, and release some of that expectation. Open up those expectations to allow for synchronicity to tap in, to allow for opportunity to reach you a little bit more easily, so that you're not on burnout, and you can be more receptive to be sensitive when opportunities and things open up to, and what to say yes to and what to say no to. So relieving yourself of some of that burden of expected action and activity. Release responsibilities that are not yours. Release those things that no longer apply, that are no longer effective. that are out of place in the progression that you're currently in. With behavior, that can be hard because most of the behaviors we carry with us and consistently follow through on, they just, we do them by default. So do an analysis of how you behave throughout the day, how you structure your day, what you do, what sort of the systems and cycles that are sort of ingrained in your habits. Analyze those things so that you can say, you know what, I don't need to do this anymore. I can change that into something else, or I can release it and open up that space, and maybe an opportunity or a circumstance will serve up something that's going to be much more beneficial for me. Also, what are you carrying that's not yours? Put it down. Realize what is in your control, what is your responsibility, and what is not, and adjust your expectations of how you need to behave in those situations as well. And also acknowledge what is significant and important to you that supports you, that you want to carry forward with you as well. Evaluate all of those things, again, so that you can be prepared when that clarity comes to jump on this horse and ride in the direction of what it is that you are seeking. Let's clarify the Magician. Clarify the Magician, please. Is the Eight of Wands. Eight of Wands was in this position yesterday, I believe. So that means that's a sign that things are going to start happening swiftly when whatever has been stalled, whatever has been blocking the progression, whatever has been holding things up, or whatever's thrown the kink in the works, when that gets straightened out and that energy has space to finally whoosh on through and move through, it's going to happen swiftly. So it may be physical movement, it may be communication, it may be opportunity, whatever it is that you've been waiting on to engage with the Eight of Wands is going to be released, I believe, when Mercury turns direct again, I believe on the 21st or the 22nd, and the days following that. So once this retrograde is released and we go again direct, I think that a whole lot of stuff is going to start happening very quickly. Time's going to feel like it's speeding up. So that's why it's important to reevaluate all of this. Tap into what it is that fulfills you, what you're inspired by, excuse me, what you're supported by, what is resonant and replenishes you, what you're clear about, and evaluate your burdens that you're carrying with the Ten of Wands to relieve yourself of that, so that when this Eight of Wands swooshes in and all of this stuff happening, you're prepared and you're able and you are free to do so, to move further along this path. And then clarify the Three of Cups. Three of Cups is the world. Okay, so a cycle's closing, cycle's opening up, the world's still spinning, opportunity's still coming. Something has come to a form of completion, and that's going to lead into something else opening up. So the next evolution. Take time to appreciate that and celebrate that and be fulfilled by that. Allow it to re-energize you so that your frequency can come up from maybe complacency or despondency or frustration with things that have been stalled, so that your vibration can allow to being engaged and excited and enlivened and revitalized to come into connection with those things that are going to be most beneficial for you along the way, so that your own energy level isn't holding you back, so that you're primed and ready for when it's time to go, when it's time to do. Clarify the Six of Cups. Eight of Pentacles. Okay, the work, the satisfaction, the connection, the reciprocity, the reflection that's in the details of the work that you do. Get clear on the details, get good at the details, get good at doing something well for the sake of doing it well and creating something of value or being part of something of value, so that when other people want to connect into that and want to receive that from you, then that exchange is healthy and there aren't going to be you don't have to worry about inadequacy or insecurity with what it is that you are producing, what it is that you are developing. You can be very confident that you've done it to the best of your ability, and it is a valuable asset to be shared and ejected into that evolution of exchange, that nature of exchange, that cyclical progression. And then clarifying the Knight of Wands and the Ace of Swords is the Knight of Swords. So that is swift decision and action. With the Knight of Swords, take an extra beat just to make sure you're not going to do any collateral damage and cut off potential or something that's valuable to you by accident. So just do a quick perimeter check to make sure that those things are secure before you swoosh in too quickly. But quick response is called upon with the Knight of Swords. And then at the bottom of the deck, we have the Knight of Cups. That's 3 knights on the table. Okay, so that is active motion in the direction of your ambitions. Okay, progression is happening. And Knight of Cups is being confident in what you're bringing forward, the connection that you're seeking, with the vulnerability within that to be receptive to it as well. So vulnerability within the confidence of continuing to move forward. Knight of Wands is excited and confident and very bold in your decision to move forward and how you're going to show up. Knight of Swords is very firm and quick and solid in your decision of what it's going to be in a very swift action. So all of these 3 working together are really going to be a powerful mechanism that's going to help further you along this path of the Fool that you've decided to set up. And right under there is the wish fulfillment. And that is when this card shows up, say out loud what it is that you want and remain receptive to how it's going to show up. Okay, and if it does show up, acknowledge and say yes, receive it. Yes, more of this, please. And then keep your eye out for it. With the Nine of Cups, it is important not to become complacent as well. It's important to continue to seek and be receptive and be generous of yourself, generous within the situations, and receptive to what is shared back with you with the Nine of Cups. So remember that. Don't become complacent. Remain motivated. With all of these knights on the table, there's some serious stuff going down. And you have the Magician at the bottom of the deck is with this one as well. And then in between, Page of Wands. Okay, so that is the preparation of the plan, looking over the blueprint, getting a bird's eye view of the lay of the land ahead so that when ignition occurs and these knights are rolling out and cruising down the road, you are prepared and ready and have a clear understanding of what you are offering, what you are seeking, what you're willing to accept, and what you're not willing to accept. And also being open to experience and be curious along the way. All right, let's do, that's very exciting, very exciting. I'm loving that, I'm loving it. And then we have the universe has your back. Let's see. Thank you, universe, for helping me see beyond the limits of fear. Thank you for expanding my perceptions so that I can see what is of the highest good. Okay, so considering and being aware of and thinking about the circumstances that you are currently in, the circumstances that you are seeking, what your perception of those things were previous to any experience with it, and the adjustments in your perception and your understanding of things along the way, and being grateful and receptive to the lessons that you learned from those things, whether it turned out well, whether it didn't turn out well. Each one was a learning experience that provided you with more knowledge and awareness than you had before, that's going to reaffirm and what's the word I'm looking for? Reaffirm and reinforce what it is that you're seeking moving forward. Okay, that is all that I have for you guys today. I hope that you've enjoyed that it was helpful. I will see you tomorrow. That's all I have. If you're interested in the monthly readings, they should all be posted, I believe, by the end of the day. for the mid-February readings I did for Aquarius, Pisces, and Capricorn. Internet service has been really trying my patience, so they were supposed to be out over this previous weekend, but, well, these things happen. But they should all be posted and available tomorrow if you're interested in extended readings. The Patreon is listed below for the monthly readings. Otherwise, I will see you guys tomorrow morning, or tomorrow when you happen to tune in for some more Tea Time and Tarot. Bye, guys.